we've got a clash of seasons here because it's, well, this time next week Christmas will be over, it'll be Boxing Day, won't it?
It'll be good.
But down here, why? It's all
Halloween.
Spooky Halloween, apparently. So we're going back in time, or is it forward in time?
Are you going up the nose?
I don't know. I could go up the nose. We're looking for a fault. We're in a basement, a spooky basement.
I could do...
I've got some knickers like that. I somehow suits you, did that again? You look like some kind of corpse bride.
I'm not baggy like this.
We have here this 90s nonsense. What brand is that? Hager. Never heard of them. That's an interesting cutout, isn't it? Shall I stick my finger up there and see what happens? Ostomy protected at source, or osteo protected, but we have two circuits, sockets and lights. And we've been here a few times in the past, and we've always noticed that sockets is off. I'm sure I turned that on and left it on this morning, so it must have tripped off again. So I think we are looking for an fault that is affecting the sockets. But we've not been down there to take a look yet, have we?
No.
How exciting. Would you like to come on a journey with us into the spooky cellar? And well, we'll leave that on for the moment, shall we? And we're just going to have a look at what's down there.
I'll get my broomstick, shall I?
I'm going to take my shoe covers off. These muck guard things, by the way, are the dog's knob.
No, they're not.
If you get ones, yeah, if you get ones the right size.
If you're a girl, they don't make them your size.
I see a lot of tradespeople taking their boots off to go into people's houses or whatever. Never take your safety boots off. Always get something to cover them over with. Those blue things are shite.
A dungeon? You didn't tell me she was into dungeons.
Oh, we got some kind of...
Look at that.
We do have a dungeon.
Oh my god.
Boo! Did it scare you?
No. Right.
That's a proper door. That's not a prop door, is
It's
it?
like Ocean's 11.
Actually, some kind of...
Did you see Ocean's 11?
Probably. I imagine it was shit.
Are you serious? When did that? Oh my god! Is that coming out there?
There's a spider down there. Oh my god, it's a real one!
That's so won't work.
But then, it's just been done for the kids. So it might be a bit young for this. The suitcase is still stop making the noise.
Oh my god, what's this?
I don't know what a real cobble is and what I've got down here. This is...
It's like an old toilet in South Africa.
This is the South African toilet room.
You crouch here like this. Serious. This is a South African toilet.
Okay.
In the old bush days when I first got there, which was about 50 years ago.
Blimey.
And you squat like this, and you stand up.
Fascinating. We do have some conduit installation work here. There's a socket, look, we've got one here. Metal clad. I suspect the damp's got into this somewhere, hasn't it? We got another socket there. Oh yeah, look at the state of this twin on earth. You can see the rust in the nails, the discoloration of the PVC. I suspect that we're looking at probably at a write-off here, but what we're going to do... Is he still alive now? Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Oh, there we are. Yeah.
Some effort's gone in here. It's not the RCD tripping off. It's not the RCBO. It's a breaker. My good God. Jesus Christ. This isn't to give you the willies.
That looks like one of your props from an earlier shagging video. I've seen you shagging one of those. A blow-up doll.
You think I'd remember that? Oh, the blow-up doll, yes. I do beg your pardon. It was Blow-Up Nigel.
Oh, that's right. Oh my god.
Oh, wow, okay. More sockets in here. These look fairly tidy. If you can...
Do you want to see if there's any power to them?
There's some kind of blow-up doll down there by the looks of it.
Oh, this is all blow-up dolls.
Blow-up Barbara's come a cropper in the dungeon. Now, I do notice up here behind this frightening scene is something even scarier.
Oh my god.
Yeah, look at that. Do you want to get your hoofer-doofer out on that and see if it's doing anything? We've got single insulation there, but I don't know, it might be double insulated, those wires.
No. Yes.
I think, or
Yes.
I'm wondering, oh my God, whether that's serving the room above and is nothing to do with the cellar. Because if I get my torch out on there, yeah, that's all that black conduit up there. That's the original stuff when the place was originally wired. This is an old building. That wiring was probably put in like the 30s or whatever. Long gone now. And then we've got his twin and earth, but it's not particularly diligent around here. There's all sorts of bodges. I mean, this is lighting. What the fuck? You know what's going to happen, don't you? You're going to be working down here and I'm going to turn the lights off and you're going to shit yourself.
Right.
Okay.
Moving on.
He's had his say. So I think what we'll start with... Yeah, let's go ahead. Fucking cobwebs everywhere.
No.
What's your head torture choice there, Linda?
Sorry, pencil.
Right. I'm using the Lasico one at the moment. I bought ages ago from Screwfix. And with that is it's a very sort of focused light. I've got a Unilight one, but I keep switching it on in my pocket.
Don't you think mine's fancy? It's for nighttime navigation.
You've got a different head torch every time I see you, I'm sure.
No.
Head torch whore.
Good to see.
Linda's unzipped one of our sockets. There's a lot of greenery in there, isn't there? Bit of corrosion.
3rd degree.
Nothing super dreadful. Let's have this one off, shall we, Linda?
Sure.
This one looks a little bit more creaky. Do these lights come off the sockets? The conduit's connected, isn't it? No, they can't do because the circuit's off.
So that's copper oxide or whatever.
There's nothing physically damp in there, is there?
No.
Could all do with being rewired down here. Nice new conduit. New feed. This is the trouble with this sort of stuff. How much time do you throw at shitty old wiring? You're probably better off with saying to the client, okay, what do you actually want where? And we'll pull in a new conduit system because you've got this just this mess of stuff everywhere. Fucking hate this job. You've got to stop walking in front of that thing.
Sorry.
Do you sound like that during sex?
No.
So this Hagger board, it's probably been hacked and slashed, this board, hasn't it? This is a 90s board, so it's been here for some time. A sticker on there saying 97071. I imagine the 97 is year of manufacture. History.
Do your spiel.
Spiel. People are bored of hearing me talk spiel. So we seem to have an intermittent breaker trip. So we're looking for an overload fault. It's got to be an overload fault because the RCBO back at the main board that this board runs off isn't tripping. So there's no point in me doing any IR testing between live cores and earth because it can't be a earth leakage fault. It's got to be an overload fault. It's a breaker that's tripping, not an RCBO. We could do, I suppose, an IR test between line and neutral because if we're getting a low number there, then that gives us something to look for. The trouble is it's intermittent, and at the moment, well, the fucking thing's on, isn't it? Let's try that, shall we? We'll use the Scholven 6522 because of its portability to do an IR test between line and neutral. Just see what we get for shits and giggles. My glamour ass old assistant is about to push the test button. If you hold that test button down, girl, we'll see what number we get between line and neutral. That's where our probes currently are. 76,000 ohms. That's on a 250 volt test. Well, that's not going to be enough to trip a 16 amp breaker.
Okay.
Yeah, you can let go. If you do the Ohm's law on that, well, it's on the screen now, that's not going to be a great amount of current flowing. But there's nothing plugged in, so there shouldn't be any kind of load between line and neutral. And I'm guessing what's happening is that number's collapsing intermittently, periodically, for whatever reason. And that collapsing number is collapsing down to, or maybe as low as, I don't know, 5 ohms or something.
Which would then make the current, do the math?
Which would, yeah, cause the current to whip up to sort of 3 times the rating. It'd be about 48 amps or something for a 16 amp. Something that's going to worry it and cause it to trip. But whatever it's doing it ain't doing it right now. Nonetheless, we've got a bit of a crap number there, so we've got something to find. So if we unzip some sockets, we'll go take a look and see if there's anything obvious. I've got no idea where this camera's pointing. I don't know if it's
My
pointing.
nose. Oh, Jesus, disgusting.
Smells damp down here, and you can see the copper's going green, or the brass is going green. This stuff, I did wonder if this was part of it, because you can see the T&E's sort of rotting, and it's also passing through expanding foam, which is a big no-no. That stuff will eat away at your PVC. But that seems to be dead, so maybe it's defunct wiring. We were going to take a peek in there behind the spiders and see where it was all going and what this flex was doing that's coming off here, but it all seems to be dead. Obviously the circuit's off at the moment, but even with the circuit on, that seems to be dead, so nothing to do with us, I don't think. Unfortunately, we're not really finding a smoking gun down here. We're finding a fridge full of body parts, which, you know, isn't what you see every day.
Green stuff on little screws.
Yeah, here's the thing. If we're looking at an overload fault, which we appear to be, because again, it's a breaker going, not a residual device, I would expect there to be a high current flow to that breaker out, and for a 16 amp we're looking at 48 amps, something like that. Take out a 16 amp breaker 3 to 5 times its rating. That's going to leave a black mark somewhere. You know, something's going to go with a bang and leave a scorch mark, or witness mark, if you will. Whew, that sounds very CSI. Where are we? Off church. CSI off church, motherfuckers. I'd expect to see, Jesus.
That hat, oh, am I blinding you?
Expect to see some kind of evidence of where that is. And there's nothing terrible. I mean, it is dampish down here, and we're seeing verdigris, as Linda would say on the brass.
Excuse me, verdigris.
Verdigris.
Speak properly. Just stop it.
So I don't know what to do with this, really. This is really kind of a fault to know. This is the trouble with the intermittent ones, where I don't know how long it takes for that thing to trip off. You kind of have to be in the right place at the right time sometimes to catch these things. And sometimes when Nigel and I did that 3 Friday video, the only way we found that was that one of us happened to be in the right room when the power was applied and heard a bang and thought, it's in here somewhere. Now, it's a question of how much time do you throw at this. We've been here a little while, haven't we? We can see the numbers aren't great, but the numbers are also not causing us a problem at the moment. There's a spooky doll down there, I've just noticed. Yeah. But you can also see that it's a bit shit down here. This isn't too bad, actually, this segment here. But
Can we just zip these back up again?
yes, please, Duck. But out here, it all goes a bit to cock, and this junction box is part of it. That ain't right, is it? Now, there comes a point where you sort of have to make a determination of, do I persevere in pulling this apart, tracing where it goes, making good where I can, without knowing where the fucking fault is anyway, which might be somewhere that's, you know, it goes off somewhere that I can't see. It might be under that, through here, under the floor, under there, somewhere where I can't really get to. I don't know where it goes. Who can tell? Or do you say to the client, look, your sound is a bit fucked really. There are elements of it that are good and can be reused, like in here, not necessarily the wiring, but the containment, the sockets, they're perhaps all fine. Maybe, you know, we can just pull some nice new wiring in there. We've got red and black, so it's been in there for 20 years plus. Maybe pulling some new singles through is the answer, and then getting sound containment from here back to the board, because then you know your route, you know what you're dealing with, and you can take the responsibility for it, and hopefully any of this bad stuff is cut out, like some kind of horrible cancer or whatever, you know, if it's got problems, and rather than trying to find them, sometimes it's best to know when to call it a day and to start anew. So I think we're onto a loser here, Linda. I know sorry you tuned in for a fault finding video and we're not going to find the fault, but it's not always possible to find the faults, is it? Sometimes you've got to make a business decision on what's more time and cost effective. And for me, I think a new feed from the board down the stairs to serve new containment and outlets in these areas and to join on to existing containment outlets in that area are the way forward. That was a fucking boring video, wasn't it?
What?
Save from all the blood and body parts and macabre terribleness.
I think it's perfectly acceptable to put out, it doesn't have to be a dramatically big video, it's a Christmas spooky video where we didn't find a fault. What do you think?
I'm going to call it that, the spooky Christmas video where we don't find a fault.
It's true.
Coffee shout-outs, motherfuckers. You fit?
I'm fit.
Jesus.
Are you rolling already?
We are running, yeah. So this is a bit of a working coffee shout-out, not our usual sitting around in the pub shout.
Some of us are working.
Someone's on the wagon for January. Turn that fucking light off, girl, for goodness sake.
Well, now you tell me. Just wait. Okay.
There it goes.
And someone's not on the wagon for January.
Yeah. I might have had a little too much over the festive season. We were working like dogs, haven't we?
We haven't stopped.
No,
we haven't. Every day except bank holidays.
Mm-hmm. So much for a relaxing Christmas, which is a bit of a pain in the arse. But we're doing lighting in the community centre. The same community centre that John and Ballbag and I did the sports hall lights in. Let's go and have a look at those. Now you can see this place has been painted. It looks a lot better. We always said, I wonder how these are going to fare. We've got one out up there, and we've got one out up there, and we've got one smashed in there. That one's taken a belt from something, hasn't it? And the tube's come out and shattered. So, to be fair, that could happen if it was fluorescent or LED, but to see two tubes out after just over a year, we don't know if the tubes have failed.
Sorry.
Or if they've just been jarred loose by impacts or something like that. So the painter and decorator had a very scary scaffold.
I wanted to go up. You wouldn't let me?
No, I wouldn't have let you because it was fucking dangerous. It's downright dangerous. So to ascend the scaffold, you had to climb a ladder on the outside, a vertical ladder on the outside, and we're talking, sort of 8 meters up there or something. And there was no kickboards. There were very few safety rails on it. I was like, I ain't going up there. And despite your volunteering, I was like, she ain't going up there.
I've got some photographs. Oh, sorry, that was your tower.
Didn't want to scrape you up off the floor. It's bad enough getting up my tower, which we've been doing to put these things. We finally got the high bay lights changed out. So we had these almost like custom made, did you know? They're tam light. So I hope they're not crap in any kind of way. Do you want to hit that switch over there? Go. We'll see you. Come on. These replace the halides that were there. And because most of the time commercial lighting is cool white and we wanted a warm flavouring, Tamlight were able to produce a warm variant for us, which is nice.
I didn't even know that.
Been up the tower at the start of the week putting these in to replace the halides, which are all down here. That's what's left of the trouble with these things, the caps have all dried out and they had a nasty habit of bursting into flames. just happened a couple of times. Let's do a read, shall we? We haven't done a read yet. First name on the list, Linda.
Oh, God. Glasses. Jay Sargent.
Good old Jay Sargent.
Merry Christmas, old fruit. Is that you, I suppose? And here's to more fine vids in 25.
Well, this is the first one of 25, and I doubt it was very fine. I'm sorry about that, Jay Sargent, but thank you once again for your contribution. He pops up a lot, does
He
our
does.
Jay Sargent. Yes, yes.
Next.
We could do a second one. It's a haul.
I don't know how you say it. Now McAlpine.
No, McAlpine, yeah.
Never did find time to dig out my old gambling.
Gaming rig.
Oh, sorry. You can I can't
Kick
read.
your ass at Unreal Tournament, is that still a thing? Yes, so our Unreal Tournament server that we set up, our game platform, to be honest, we haven't been on it much. The trouble is I was so good at it that everybody sort of ended up going away with their tail between their legs and didn't want to play anymore. So the server's still around. If we can ever arrange a time to play on it, then super dupes. Linda's got an exciting new thing. Show us your exciting new thing, Linda.
What this thing?
Beautiful.
He knew the model number. He looked at it and he said,
I've got an F91W.
You're just so sad. I thought you were talking about this thing.
Oh, yeah, well, I didn't know if you wanted to mention that thing.
I'm now, who am I?
You're now the good Mrs. Harrison.
Fuck off. Should we go back to...
Wedlock has occurred in December for our Linda.
It was very exciting.
Congratulations to Paul, who's going to make an honest woman of her.
Stop it.
If he can't do it, nobody can. Congratulations, Paul.
It's Jay Sargent again.
Jay
Oh my
Sargent
God.
again, yes.
Thank you, Jay. Are you going to give me a pay rise now?
All the very best to you for 2025. What you want, Jay Sargent's contribution? Yes,
please.
You can
To
have
my pay rise.
the coffee that he's bought. Yeah.
Thank you, Jay.
You probably did have it this morning, in fact, when we went to that coffee house.
Who's
Have you
next?
got another exciting thing? Show us your other exciting thing.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You don't know, you were there.
Oh!
Pre-arrange it all with her and say,
But
let's
I
show
got
these
this.
things off.
It was eFix's idea. There's a little an Omega.
Yes, these are very exciting, these things. Let's put it on the deck and open it up. There was talk on our ESK WhatsApp group of this over Christmas, and I looked at it and thought, that's a very exciting thing, because not only can you scribble down the stuff you've been doing in the day, but each page has details for you to write down test results and that sort of stuff. And you know how disorganised things often are when you're jotting down numbers and materials or whatever in a day, and then you come to find it again sometime later, and like, shit, why have I written that? So that's very good. The only reason that stopped me from buying one and sticking with my file of Farks is that it's A4, which is too big for me.
It is too big.
I like to carry an A5 around. Let's have a look at what else we're doing here, shall we, Linda? We're just in the middle of changing out some of the emergencies, some of the old CFLs for pancake LED fittings, some of the 2D fittings for LED tray nonsense that probably won't last half as long as any of this stuff ever did, but there you go. Let's find somewhere where you can read off another name.
I can't pronounce this possibly. Erkin Sarikaya.
Certainly a good attempt. I hope we're not mangling your name there.
He feckin' loves you.
Well,
He obviously doesn't know you very well.
any chance you can do some more videos about the cutout views? I would love to mess about with DNO equipment if I knew I wouldn't turn into burnt toast. I do have a video coming, not really necessarily about the cutout, but about what you find in the meter box, because we're going to have a good look at Linda's meter box. Not a euphemism, before you get too excited, before Mr. Harrison comes along and says, oh, I don't know, I'm not having this. But we're going to have a good peek inside Linda's meter box and discuss some of the equipment that's there, because big changes afoot, potentially, in 25.
Oh, David Patson. Mm-hmm. David. Oh, David wished me. Thank you very much, David.
But best wishes, yes,
So nice.
he says, for the new year. And he name drops Linda especially.
So that's another coffee for me, or possibly a crate of something. A crate of brandy after dry January.
Moving on. Oh yes, Linda's partaking in dry January.
Right, who's next?
And moving on to SuperThanks.
Tube Jogger, green virgin. Is that, I asked you already, is that a double virgin?
For all intents and purposes, yeah, why not? And of course, the great
Mark Eastwood.
anonymous Mark Eastwood, who is an orange whore, which is very generous of him. who has completed his City and Guilds 2365 level 2. Great to see the theory and concepts being put to use in the real world. Real world. That's what this is.
What is the real world?
And it sucks. Shit.
Can I talk about, this is my watch, you forgot to mention it's company colours.
It is.
And look here, I've even got company coloured socks. Are you impressed?
What a loser. Right. Well, I suppose we better get these lights back on because it's Friday afternoon and you're not drinking. You know, I might give it a bit of a relax myself, to be honest, after a few heavy nights.
You've been in trouble.
Yeah. Okay, well, let's get these dreadful things finished and tidy up.
And say goodbye.
And call it a day.
And I'm going home.
To the good Mr.
Bye.
Harrison. See you next time.